Alright everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. I'm Matt and today we're going to be talking about Freddie Woodman and the fact he's just signed a brand new 3-year contract with Newcastle and he's returning to Swansea on loan next season. It's fantastic news, the lad, he's been here forever. He's always been third or fourth choice goalkeeper and he's had a fantastic season at Swansea, and it's only right that he gets a contract extension at the end of it. He was due to be expiring at the end of this season. At the end of next season, but he's signed a 3-year deal with the option to extend for a 4th year, and then he's joining Swansea back on loan for the coming season. Personally, I think it's a quality deal all round for both clubs. Swansea, they had a fantastic season for them last season. Freddie Woodman played 43 times. He played every available minute until he got injured against Leeds and missed the last 3 league games and also the playoffs. You could argue that, that cost him the playoffs, having someone like Woodman in goal. They went out 3-2 to Brentford in the end, I think. So maybe he would have offered them a little bit more security at the back. Obviously, he's a World Cup winner. Not obviously with the junior squad, but still, it all counts. And he's got that experience behind him, even at his young age. He's 23 now, going on 24 next year. So he's coming in to a time where he should be getting first team football. So it's right that we've loaned him out again, because he's realistically never going to get in ahead of Dubravka at the minute anyway. And hopefully this will be looking for someone to succeed Dubravka. We're not going to bring them in. We're going to nurture homegrown talent, and Woodman can be that person for us. And even looking at this season, comparing the two, obviously there's 2 different leagues, there's different calibers of team, but Woodman's played slightly more games, but he's kept more clean sheets, and on average conceding a goal every 77 minutes compared to Dubravka's 59 minutes. So he's conceding a lot less in a lot more games. Obviously, like I say, the calibre is different in the Championship than it is in the Premier League, but he is showing promise. He's had the first opportunity last season, or this season just gone, to get a run of games in the first team with Swansea, and they've done really, really well. So it's only right that he should be pushing in and around our first team now. I think it's probably the right thing for us to do as well, because obviously we've got Carl Darlow on the books. He's been a good servant of the club, playing in the Championship, and it would be a bit unfair on him to kind of boot him out the door. He's only got 12 months left on his contract, however, so it'll be interesting to see what the club does with him, whether they want to keep him on as a backup goalkeeper, obviously with Mark Gillespie coming in. And it'll be interesting to see if Darlow is kept on the books or if he's moved on to a Championship club or even a Premier League club if the need is there. So obviously Woodman going back out on loan, good business for the club. He said he's absolutely delighted to sign a new contract. He's called Newcastle a massive club. Obviously it's great to hear. And he says he's got ambitions of being the future number 1 for this team. And personally, I think that's meant, a local lad that's wanting to come play for the shirt, and he's willing to sacrifice, another year of his career out on loan at another team if that means he gets a shot at that number 1 jersey. It is a strange one though, because we don't know where Dubravka's going to be at the end of this season coming, and if he's going to still be at the top level that we've seen him at the past couple of years. Obviously he's in his 30s now. Is he going to have a couple more seasons at the top, and is Freddie Woodman going to get a chance in that first team? Because he won't want to be playing second fiddle anymore. He'll be wanting that first team football, and it'll be a shame if we can't offer him that and he does eventually move on. But like I say, he's got another year with Swansea, so hopefully it's as successful, if not more successful, than the season he's just had. And if it is, then he'll definitely be challenging Dubravka for that number 1 spot. It's nice to see some proactive action from the club, putting pen to paper with Freddie Woodman. Obviously, we've seen the situation with Matty Longstaff unfold. Unfortunately, he's not currently going to be playing in black and white next season. Whether he changes his mind, whether the club does offer him a new contract, remains to be seen. Personally, I would love to see him back, but that's the club's decision, that's his decision. But going back to Woodman, you've got to ask the question, does the club trust him enough? He's 23 going on 24. You've got keepers like Dean Henderson, even Kepa Arrizabalaga in the league, who are that kind of age or younger, that are playing at the very, very top. So does the club not trust him enough to take that number 1 spot, or even challenge that number 1 spot after Dubravka? So they've obviously loaned him out for another season. We'll see how well that goes. Unfortunately, if it does go bottoms up for him at Swansea next season, I do think that will be the end of the line for Woodman in a Newcastle shirt. But living in the now, it is a positive move by the player and by the club to commit their future to this club. And hopefully we'll see a few more contracts being signed over the coming weeks and months. Obviously we've got the Matty Longstaff contract situation which is dragging out, but we also have a lot of senior players whose contracts are expiring within the next 12 months. So whether we want to hang on to them on a permanent basis or tie them down to a new contract with a view to sell them on in the future for a bit of cash to play around in the transfer market. But for now, you've been watching Newcastle Fans TV, and I'll see you in the next one.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars.